We'll turn that bad boy off, and then I'll turn my camera off. Boop. And now let's settle down for some delightful Resident Evil reveal. Oh, hot damn. That's some groovy shit right there. Let's pop everything back up. So, yeah, boy, we got Nemesis. Honestly, it was to be expected. Nemesis is probably the most iconic bad guy in Dead by Daylight, in the Resident Evil universe. You know, there are plenty of other iconic ones, but Nemesis is the one that really sticks in people's mind. So we've got Nemesis coming, and he's going to be a lot of fun from what I can see. Survivors, we've got motherfucking Leon S. Kennedy. Yes. And we also have Jill Valentine. Another yes. So this is groovy as fuck, man. We've got some really good stuff on the works. So I'll just minimize that. Now we will get to... yeah, there we go. To the perks and powers and everything. We'll do it one at a time. So, what just happened? Zoom, that's what I wanted. Okay, so we have 6 new survivor perks, because as the same thing happened when we did the Stranger Things chapter, we've got 2 new survivors. So 6 new perks. Jill Valentine's first. Counterforce. You cleanse totems 20% faster. After cleansing a totem, you see the aura of the furthest totem from you for 2 seconds. At tier 3, that goes up to 4 seconds. And you gain an additional 20% stackable speed bonus to cleansing totems for the remainder of the trial. This is pretty big for an anti-hex build. Honestly, you could just run that one perk. You wouldn't need Detective's Hunch. You don't need Small Game. You could run Counterforce, and you're groovy for smashing out totems. The maths on it, a normal totem takes 14 seconds, right? So 20% faster, you're looking at a totem in 11.6 seconds. And then once you've cleansed one, you then get 20% more. So you're now doing it 40% faster. So that will work out to be, 14 times 0.6, you're looking at 8.4 seconds on your second totem. Is that how it would work? I think so. So 40% faster, that's 5.6 seconds. 14 minus 5.6, 8.4. Yeah, I was right. Okay. So your second totem then will only take 8.6 seconds to cleanse. After you've cleansed that, that's another 20%. So you're looking at 60% faster. Whoa. So you're looking at times 4. You're looking at 5.6 seconds to cleanse your third totem. Right up to the fourth totem is going to be... that's not correct. Is it? 2.8? And then... I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. 2.8 seconds on your fourth totem? Okay, yeah, 80% is maximum, because once you've cleansed the fifth, there's no more. So you'd get 20% and it'd be 100% faster, but there's only 5 totems, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, so 80% faster. So you're going to get 2.8 seconds to finish cleansing a totem. That's huge. Okay, moving on. Resurgence. You've come back from near impossible odds and you'll do it again. Gain 40% healing progress instantly after being unhooked or unhooking yourself. At tier 3, this jumps up to 50%. This is very useful. Like, obviously, you only get two chances at it because you can only be hooked twice before your third hook, which is insta-death. But 50% healing progress from being unhooked, that's decent. That has potential to synergize with self-care, which currently isn't the best perk. Like, 34 seconds to heal is a very long time. 34 seconds of doing nothing, not contributing to the team, and so on. But if half of that's already done, and you pair this up with, say, Desperate Measures or something else, even a med kit, you're going to get more use out of med kits because you're going to be half healed already. So this is actually very useful. Third one, Blast Mine. Now this is an interesting perk. It reminds me of Repressed Alliance, I think it was called, the Cheryl perk from Silent Hill. So what happens with this is Blast Mine activates after completing a total of 66% worth of repair progress on generators. So you can split that up across multiple generators as long as you've got 66%. And then whilst you're repairing, after repairing a generator for at least 3 seconds, press the ability button to install a trap which stays active for 35 seconds. I'm not sure what part of this changes on tier up. I believe how long it stays active for. It probably goes up to I reckon 45 seconds, maybe more. Affected generators will be revealed to all survivors by yellow aura. Only one trap can be active on a generator. When the killer damages a trapped generator, the trap explodes, stunning them and blinding anyone nearby. Blast Mine is then deactivated. So you get one use out of this, but it's actually very strong. The blind and the stun is roughly 3 seconds, and that's a decent stun blind for a survivor to get out of there. If they've been repairing it and it's at 90% completion, the killer's like, oh shit, I need to kick that. They can kick it, but boof, they get flashbanged and they're stunned. It's pretty good. Now, Leon's perks. We've got Bite the Bullet. This has some decent potential. So you make no noise, including grunts of pain, when healing. So that means usually when you heal, you get that like that tape sort of sound as you're healing, and you're going and you're making grunts. It's quite loud when you're healing, and that is a big audio cue for killers that they'll be able to hear someone healing. Like, I might hear it in my left, and be like, okay, someone's healing right there. I'm going to turn this corner, and boom, that's a down. So this perk eliminates that. You are 100% silent in your healing. No noise notification on failed healing skill checks. That's also very handy. You know, most people hit skill checks, but if you get caught by surprise, it's not going to cause a noise notification. And it also, if you fail a skill check, the healing regresses by only 3%. At tier 3, that drops down to 1%. That's really decent. So that is a very, very good perk. If you're going for a full stealth build, like maybe you're running Lucky Break with Quick and Quiet and Iron Will or something like that, pairing it with Bite the Bullet, you're going to be a very, very hard to find survivor. Next up, Flashbang. This one is really exciting for me. I love the ingenuity, is that the right word? The creativity of this particular perk. You've adapted to a world in chaos and making what you can from the debris. After completing 70% progress on any generator, Flashbang activates. So you have to do that on a single generator, I believe. Enter a locker while empty-handed, so not holding an item, and press the ability button to craft a flash grenade. You get one charge, it detonates with a loud bang and a flashing light, creates a noise notification, and can be used to distract or blind. You leave the flash grenade behind when escaping the trial, so you can't take them with you. These function almost identical to to the like Chinese New Year firecrackers. Only difference being, you don't know one of these have dropped. With the firecrackers, they start to crackle and then they pop. These just drop and poosh, hits you with that flash. The flash isn't, the blind isn't as long as Blast Mine, but it's enough for you to maybe get a dip around a corner and have the killer lose you for long enough to give you distance. So this is actually pretty dope. Rookie Spirit is probably the weakest one of the lot, but you know, it has its uses. Complete 5 good or great skill checks while repairing generators to activate Rookie Spirit for the remainder of the trial. Once active, you can see the aura of regressing generators. So that drops down to 3 at tier 3. So all you have to do is complete 3 skill checks and you've got this perk active for the full duration of the match. All it does is literally, it just highlights the aura of any generator that's regressing. So if the killer's using Ruin, this is handy because you will have an eye on pretty much all generators. It's also handy for you because you can pinpoint which generators need protecting. So you can go, that's regressing, I'm going to go over there and tap it or start working on it or something along those lines. It can also give you a little information on the killer because you're going to be able to, if you suddenly see a generator aura, you know the killer has just kicked that because it's begun regressing and you know he's around that particular area. So there's a little bit of information in that as well. Moving on to the killer. So we've got Nemesis. Hell yeah, boy. Oops. We're going to we're going to have to view all, but that's okay. We're going to start off with the perks. Now, I'm a little disappointed in his perks. They don't seem all that good, but you know, at least none of them are hexes. So the first one we've got here is Lethal Pursuer. You've been designed to track down and eliminate targets. At the start of the trial, the auras of all survivors are revealed to you for 5 seconds. That goes up to 7. So for the first 7 seconds of the match, you've got aura reading, and then that's it. The perk's deactivated. I don't think this is a strong perk. Maybe for killers like Myers, Ghostface, Nurse even, but most experienced killers are aware of how survivors spawn in relation to the killer and generators, and most of the time you're going to be beelining to where survivors are at the start of a match anyway. The only way I can see this being handy is maybe it gives you information on whether they've split up, which directions they're heading at the start, so you know which general area to head to, and things like that. Nurse, it'd be handy because you can blink really quickly to their location. And obviously Myers, you can start walking towards them to stalk. That's pretty handy because Myers is... the early game for Myers is very critical. But all in all, I find this perk to be quite weak. Hysteria. You know how to brutalize one member of a team to cause a panic. Whenever you put a healthy survivor into the injured state, so this only counts if they're healthy and you've injured them, with a basic attack, all injured survivors suffer from the Oblivious status effect for 20 seconds. That goes up to 30, I believe. Hysteria can only trigger once every 60 seconds. I think the cooldown also drops. This is rather niche. It's not terrible, but it's a bit niche. So you whack a survivor, they go into injured, and now anyone else that's injured is going to be oblivious for 30 seconds. Handy if the survivor you just hit also gets that oblivious, or if it's only the ones that were already injured, not the one you just injured. If it affects the one you just injured, this could be quite useful because oblivious while you're mid-chase is quite handy. Otherwise, it's it's good, but not great. Eruption. This is the one that is most interesting to me. Unfortunately, it's got a massive cooldown. This doesn't change. 90-second cooldown. The Nemesis Alpha, or Nia, parasite provides you with the intelligence and awareness needed to set a trap. Oh my god, excuse me. After kicking a generator, its aura is highlighted in yellow. When you put a survivor in the dying state with a basic attack, every affected generator explodes, regressing their progress by 6% and causing the auras to disappear. Now, it is confirmed that the regression continues after the explosion. Any survivor repairing a generator when it explodes will scream and suffer from incapacitated for 10 seconds. So this is a decent enough perk, but I feel 90 seconds is quite long. That's probably a bit too long even. But it is currently in PTB, so we'll more than likely see some minor changes across all perks and probably the power as well. Right, moving on to the real juicy stuff. The power of Nemesis is T-Virus, a virus that causes extreme mutations and can be transferred to others. Its effects heighten aggression and strength within the Nemesis. So there's 3 parts to the power, I'd say. Main thing being the special attack, Tentacle Strike. This is actually really dope in action. It's really good. Press and hold the power button to charge an attack. So similar how to Huntress, you wind up a hatchet. Once charged, tap the attack button to unleash Tentacle Strike. Hitting a survivor with the Tentacle Strike afflicts them with the contaminated status effect and increases your mutation rate. If a survivor is already contaminated, Tentacle Strike damages their health. So if they're healthy but not contaminated, hitting them with the tentacle won't injure them, but it will contaminate them. I am unsure on what contaminated status effect actually does. I believe it has something to do with the later part of the power, which we'll get to. So I'll talk about that more later. Survivors can cure contamination by using a vaccine found in supply cases on themselves and other survivors. So they can grab a vaccine and use it on someone else or themselves. However, the amount of vaccines is limited. After using a vaccine, the survivor's location will be revealed by Killer Instinct. Mutation Rate. Your power expands as your mutation rate grows. At Mutation Rate 2, or Tier 2, I'm just going to call them tiers, Tentacle Strike can destroy pallets and breakable walls. And let me tell you, it does it relatively fast. Like, it's probably faster than doing a normal break, I reckon. At Mutation Rate 3, Tentacle Strike's range increases, and it increases a decent amount as well. The T-Virus icon displays the current level of mutation rate. Now here's a really cool part. Special enemy. Zombies. Yeah boy, we got zombies. So this is my theory on contaminated as well. When a zombie attacks a survivor, they inflict them with the contaminated effect. If the survivor is already contaminated, their health will be damaged. Now, I believe them inflicting contamination is if a survivor just happens to come across a zombie and gets hit. From what I've seen, I think only 2 zombies spawn on the map and will just roam around the place as they do. So my theory is, if a survivor is already contaminated, it's like a beacon for the zombies. They will sort of be drawn to contaminated survivors, and will go for the hits. That's what I think anyway, but until we actually look at the contaminated status effect in the help section of the actual game, we won't know for sure. Zombies can be destroyed by a Tentacle Strike to increase your mutation rate, and survivors can destroy them with pallets. So they can drop a pallet on a zombie and it will kill them, but they do respawn after a short time. Some of the add-ons actually decrease how long it takes for them to respawn, so that's quite nice. And other add-ons actually increase how fast they move. One of the iridescents actually is the Shattered Stars badge, and what that does is it tremendously increases zombie movement speed when a generator is completed. How fast that actually is remains to be seen, but because it takes a completed generator, I'd expect it to be quite fast and kind of like a frenzy zombie. So that's really cool. So all in all, the Nemesis's power is looking pretty fun. I've seen it in action and it does look quite fun. His basic attack is straight up punching. That's pretty cool. And he does, his arms at the very least, I don't know about the rest of his body, does change in appearance slightly as his mutation rate increases. I imagine the survivors will be able to see that too, and that's like a visual cue for them to know exactly what tier of mutation he's in. It releases on June 15th. So, well, that's 1, 2, just under 3 weeks. Yeah, just under 3 weeks. Or for me, it's exactly 3 weeks.